Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody. This is Greg, and I'm with a very special guest tonight, Mr. David Sloan from down in Key West, Florida. We're down here at one of his locations, which happens to be the Haunted Firehouse. And I'm going to put him on, and then he'll go ahead and tell you everything that's going on.
Hey, everybody. My name's David Sloan, and we're here in Key West, Florida. We're at America's Most Haunted Firehouse. And you think, well, America's Most Haunted Firehouse, what gives it that claim? And it's really interesting because for a long time I've been doing tours up at Fort East Martello in Key West, which a lot of you know is the home of Robert the Doll. And I volunteer at the Alex Vega Key West Firehouse Museum. And it's this great firehouse. Greg's going to take you inside in just a minute. But it was built in 1907, oldest firehouse in the state of Florida. And when they built the firehouse, there was a mysterious fire inside the engine room before anybody even moved in. And because of that, people started saying that place is cursed. Well, then they moved in, and almost immediately after, a hurricane came through. It ripped the roof off the firehouse. Luckily, the chief had taken the horses out to the yard, and they survived. And then people said again, man, this place is cursed. But on that night of the hurricane, there were 3 people born in Key West during the storm. They were all boys, and they all went on to lead the firehouse. And it was almost as if they were sent here to help reverse the curse. And people will say they're sacred ground. The whole island of Key West used to be covered with bones. So there's different theories. You know, this is built right on top of a huge aquifer with the most fresh water on the entire island. So that might charge it. But what we have happen is firefighters come in during the day. People visit during the day. These people know haunted firehouses. And they all started saying, oh my God, there's a lot of activity here. I find that it's creepier than 40s Martello with Robert the Doll. We have more activity, and it's a different type of spirit because a lot of the firefighters were protectors, but they're not the only ones here. We've identified at least 15 spirits, and people who come in say, no, 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 there are many more. And I'm going to let Greg take it from here and give you a little tour around this place. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, we're going to try to keep this light on, but I think we should go around the grounds and show everything
Let's do
outside
it.
here.
Let's do it. I'll come behind you and do
Okay.
the flashlight.
Okay, and well, we've got this is what do they call this again?
This is a feed shed. I'm going to turn it around so people can see it.
Yeah,
Or have you got it now?
I thought we did.
Let me take a look.
I can't read that.
Here we go. Where we're going now, this is the feed shed. And this is the place where Chief Fulford is supposed to haunt. Chief Fulford was here back during the times when everybody had horses. And he was out on his horse doing a survey. He was on his cart, actually, and there was a backfire from one of the trolley vehicles. And his host reared up, and Chief Fulford was killed. He smashed his head on the ground. He bled out. You can see right there the headline: Fulford died from a fall. And he's just one of the chiefs people encounter here.
Let's try to do it again. I hope I'll be able to get it done.
Did we cut out?
Good. Where's the link?
Whoa.
Did you see something?
Yeah. I just saw something bigger than a cat run across the ground real low. Did you see anything? Yeah. That was weird.
Come on, Katie.
Look at the stars. It was like the size of a tall raccoon. And it ran like there, and then
Hey Greg, you're back on.
Okay, am I on now? Can't. I got to reverse the camera, maybe. Do you see me or not? Okay. So I got to reverse the camera. Come on, come on, come on. Well, let's do it that way. as you can see me, then I'm going to do this. Okay, this is the backyard of the firehouse, and this is where I hope you can see these. If I can get a comment from anybody, these are two of the older fire trucks that are all part of this museum, and it's highly, highly haunted. Uh, there are little spots that Mr. Sloan has set up with these little numbers on it so that you put on headphones and you can go ahead and go around and actually find out where things are. And they'll give you little ins and outs right here at this location on the back end of this fire truck. If you can still hear me, I hope, is this area here, right here, where I'm putting the light. I had an EMF K2 that went off like crazy over here for some reason. These are two fire trucks. I'm trying to get everything together so that we're going to go inside here. David has set everything up here for a great exhibit. There's a lot of people that are involved in this. There's a lot of people that older firemen that have come back and volunteered. This is where he sets up everything for everybody to go ahead and use for the operation. I turned this around because I couldn't get it to work that way. So I thought if I can do this, and it's still showing us. Hopefully this will let us go ahead and go inside without any problem.
Do you want a white light?
Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, you want to go inside with me, and then you could
Yeah.
cover the spots that.
Here, why don't you do the camera and I'll do the light then?
Okay. Okay, there you go.
Take that back.
Okay. So this is the entrance way, and this is where the books and everything else that are all anybody that would come here and want to have a little history and take something home with them. It's still on, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so what we're going to do talk is this is the radio room, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of different areas within here. There's actually some people investigate the fire truck. So I'm going to take you upstairs first.
You're still on?
Yep. And this firehouse is pretty massive. It's got 2 stories. Did you hear that downstairs?
Dolls laughing.
When you get up to this floor in here, the energy totally changes. You have thousands of artifacts, and we don't know the stories behind all of them.
A lot of these are all hoses, right? Or nozzles?
Yeah, the old nozzles.
It's oxygen.
And one thing I want to tell you about the guy that you see right there, that's Benjamin Franklin Bowers. He was a fire chief here, and he was here during the Great Fire of 1886. And then in 1900, there was an election for the fire chief, and he lost. So he went out drinking, and then him and his friends went to a house of ill repute, and he pulled out his gun and he pointed it at one of his friends, and he said, "Move your head." And his friend moved his head, and Chief Bowers turned his gun and he shot a prostitute in the face. He was let go. They said that they collected evidence properly, and he disappeared. Nobody really knows what happened to him, and that's one of the great mysteries here. And another mystery that we have right below here is a photograph that was taken on the grand opening of the Firehouse Museum. And if you can see in the red circle, there is a woman or a little girl holding someone's hand. And the person who took the photo asked Captain Alex, "Hey, what's the little black girl at the party?" And he said, "No, there were no kids at the party." She said, "No, they're right in the photo here." And he looked at the photo. Everybody remembers no one there. And if you look next to her, you can see a woman, and she has no feet, but there's a shadow. And that's Charlotte Knowles, who was murdered by Benjamin Bowers. And that's just one of the mysteries that people can investigate
Trying
here.
to keep it going. David's got the lead. This is, this has got all sorts of different pictures and more artifacts. This is the bunk room, right?
This is the bunk room. We have a lot of activity that takes place in here. This is where the firefighters would have slept. This is where they spent their time when they were on their shifts. Sometimes they would do shifts up to 24 hours. This is where we have the fire pole. A lot of energy was in here, a lot of charged energy. There was the Claxton machine when the alarms went off. And I think a lot of that creates a residual energy. And then there were firefighters who died in here as well. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. One of the guys who had a heart attack comes through people a lot. And there's just these energies, and they always move around. One of the interesting things, one of the interesting things that we've been experiencing, people smell a burnt smell. Somebody's described it smelling like burning flesh, and it moves around.
That was,
Yeah.
we got in here, we go in here to, this is one of the most famous people in this Firehouse. And this is Bomfarto. And they talk about him being the chief. Supposedly there was a scandal of some sort, and he ended up disappearing, and they don't know where he really went. That's him back here, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So this is him here, and he liked his cigars, so there's a cigar on the desk, the radios, everything's just the way he sort of left it with it. And there's the T-shirt, "Where's Bombardo?" Now you guys are going to be laughing about that, I'm sure, but this gentleman disappeared and we don't know where he went. They say he's with the fishes, I believe, right,
Uh-huh.
David?
A lot of people think that.
Okay, so that's that story. And then there's him again here, a whole bunch of different pictures of him. And he was quite a personality in Key West. I'm not mistaken. So, and then we got, that's, you want to go back,
Go downstairs.
but we wanted to go ahead and let you guys see that because it's really interesting. All here on these walls are all patches from a lot of the different departments across the nation and even internationally from what I can see over here, right?
Yeah, a lot of German over there.
A lot of German. And then it goes down. And let's go downstairs. But this is really an interesting building. I am certainly glad that I took David's invite to go ahead and come over. And yesterday when he had like a open house and that, and then gave me the opportunity to come back tonight to go ahead and help him with this investigation. I'm very pleased to be here. this is when they threw water balloons.
Yeah. Show them the fire truck.
Okay, this is really cool. We have one of the guys doing an investigation up here now.
We were just hearing whistling right before you guys walked in. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
I heard Jack Wright telling you that he couldn't reach the pedals.
Yeah, that was me. And
That was so cool.
Can you read to? No. Oh, okay. Yeah.
also, like, I had asked if there was anybody other than Jack here, and we both heard a deep voice come over and say, Dad.
Oh yeah, I couldn't
And
mention that.
Your name is
Oh, Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on, Jess. And you are
And Chris,
Chris.
yes,
Glad to have you.
nice to meet you.
Hey, Greg. Hey, Greg, we can't see you.
Something. So I got up and I walked over to here, and then he was hearing it too. And I was like, maybe they have some equipment or something there. And then as soon as you guys entered the room, it stopped.
Yeah, as soon as you guys
Like
entered,
as soon as you
it
stopped.
sounded like it was almost coming from like the corner near the front door.
I thought I heard it over here.
Okay, to my ear, it sounded like it was like almost over there.
We're losing the light. Lose the light, then goes back to Katie.
Let's see if I can get that voice this time.
He was like on the seat before.
Is there anyone other than Jack that would like to talk? You also like fire trucks?
Yeah, your phone is completely black. Can't see you at all.
Yeah,
And well, I mean,
What
that's
about
good that
that?
you don't have like
Cooler
any
and-
outside interference. That's
I have
good.
a dog here.
Okay, you guys have fun.
I have a dog here. Come check it out.
Okay, we're gonna go back outside and leave those going in there so they can get some investigations. Oh, boy, that was crazy. Caught me for a minute. But
So we go over to the tree of graves.
sure. This is pretty mind-boggling if you really take this in, when you really take this into consideration. This tree is how many years old? Hundreds, right?
Yeah, so it's over 100 years old, I think.
And
It's it's a mamey tree, and the mamey tree, it has these fruits that grow on it that they say are sacred, and it's because they have cyanide in the seeds, and they used to not let women eat them because uh, they said it was just sacred for the men. But this tree was smuggled over from Cuba. The seed was, it was planted. It's the oldest mamey tree in the United States. And almost every mamey tree in the United States has the DNA of this tree. And because it was so special, all of the firefighters used to want to be buried underneath here.
so we've got Chief Eddie Castro and Captain Marcos Primo Diaz. And there's about 6 sitting over here.
Gus Perez,
Johnny Bringle, Milo Rodriguez, David Donald Williams, Commander Robert Pezzo, Robert Goodry, and Richard Pick Arnold. These are some of the, well, they are the ones that are buried here, or their
Hey,
ashes, or
yeah.
however they're.
hey, Greg. Greg, is there any way that
But
you could turn your
this is
camera around?
Wait, this is the old water pump.
Greg,
This is,
Greg,
did they use, this is regular fire pump, isn't it?
Yeah, this is an old hydrant. One of the artifacts here.
It's pretty cool.
hey, Greg,
And what else? Yeah.
can you turn your phone around? Because we can't see
Got the old
anything.
jail cell. And one of the interesting things here, out in the yard, people see the ghost of a horse, and we ended up finding some bones on the property when they turned this into a museum. They did an archaeological dig, and they found the jaw of a baby horse. We think that they used to bury some of the young horses on the property. With the older ones, of course, they'd take them off and dispose of them somewhere else. But there was a neighbor who kept seeing a horse out in the yard, a white horse, whenever she'd go home. She's like, that's so cool that they have a horse at the firehouse. And she came by one day and asked the firefighter, she's like, whose horse is that in the yard? And they said, there haven't been horses here in 30 years. I was digging through the archives and I found an article. There was actually a horse that died on the property. The firefighter jumped out of bed. He grabbed his wrong coat. When he got to the bottom, noticing the horse, he didn't realize he had his revolver with him, and he accidentally shot the horse, and it died. I think we're possessed. Personal error. I believe we are. Okay, what do we got left? That's probably the image of the horse that was white and was out here prancing back and forth. Huh? Yeah, that's a tribute to Big George. And that's about it, huh? Yeah, there's a lot of different little areas to investigate. I think we had David and his wife went ahead and set up these stations so that you can go ahead and grab a set of headphones and they'll give you, you'll be able to go ahead and follow the directions and do the whole entire outside and the firehouse. And it takes about 42 minutes, right? Yep, about 42 minutes, and then people get an hour and 15 minutes to investigate with our equipment. So if you get the opportunity, it's great. Just come on down and see them. I've had a lot of crazy things happen in my life. Mr. David Sloan is one of the good ones, and I want to say that it's been a great opportunity to be able to come down here and do all this stuff with him. And the location and the locations that he does at the fort and Robert Goodell, if you get an opportunity to come down, like I said, I first time I saw Robert was like 20 years ago in a house up on, I think it was the third floor, and it was on a shelf, and I'll never forget that one. But after that, the next time I saw him, I want to say he was already in the museum. Mm-hmm. And he was in a much bigger box. I want to say plexiglass case, but now he's got his own nice location. He's all by himself. There's nobody around him, and he's exceptional. If you get the opportunity to see him, just remember, be very respectful and go ahead and mind your P's and Q's. Just like if you're talking to a judge, is the best way to solve that. And say yes, sir, and no, sir, and thank you very much. And can I have one of your can I take a picture of you? And then say thank you very much for letting me take your picture, and then close it and say, we will see you later. Thank you very much and goodbye. And that's it. So this is about it for us. Uh, it's been exceptional. I didn't think I'd be coming on tonight. I know that Katie did a great job, and Katie, I've gone ahead and set this up because I'm a pretty big knucklehead when it comes to setting this kind of stuff up. I'd rather be talking to people and sitting in a chair and looking at them, on a big screen. So, but this has made me a believer. That's for sure. And this will be a location that I know that every time I come back down to Key West, I will be coming to this firehouse.
And I sure hope that a lot of you other people, when you come down to Key West, you have the same opportunity. And with that, I'm going to say goodnight. You guys have a great time, and we'll see you. I don't know if we'll see you next Friday or not, but have fun. And I don't know if Carol Garcia is on, but usually she says she has a little saying that she puts on there, love and hugs or something like that. So without that, it wouldn't be done. So you guys all have a great evening, and thanks again to Katie, KD, Supernatural Inc., David Sloan, his lovely wife. We didn't even, we, is she going to come on?
Nah, it's all good.
It's all good? Okay, we're going to keep her off. So you guys all have a great evening, and thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Join every Wednesday night, same time, same channel, to watch When Spirits Connect with your host, Greg Koss, provided by the Supernatural Inc. Entertainment Network. Thank you, and we'll see you next Wednesday.